wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. Out there, well done, Winslet. I told you, do a Holocaust movie, the awards come, didn't I? See?
Ricky Gervais has always been the guy who likes to stir things up. But lately, he's taken it up a notch by becoming a vocal critic of Hollywood's constant virtue signaling. From award shows to interviews, he's made it his mission to call out the hypocrisy of celebrities who act all high and mighty. Speaking of hypocrisy, just wait till you hear about the celebrity who went through some serious public embarrassment just to stay relevant in woke Hollywood. More on that in a bit. But here's the thing. Has Hollywood, the so-called moral guide of today, gone way overboard with its performative wokeness? Or have they met their match in someone like Ricky Gervais, who's saying what so many others are secretly thinking?
Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein.
Let's talk about the 2020 Golden Globes, a night that will forever be remembered as the moment Ricky Gervais said what we were all secretly thinking. Celebrities had become so predictable, using their acceptance speeches to lecture about climate change, diversity, or equality, all while sipping on $500 champagne, no less. But when Ricky stepped on stage, you could tell something was different. He wasn't about to play nice. Instead, he tore the room apart, calling out their hypocrisy with razor-sharp accuracy. Gervais's takedown of Hollywood wasn't just about pointing out about how out of touch these stars were with regular folks. It was a bigger message. Don't use your fame to act like you're better or more virtuous than everyone else. And honestly, the reaction shots from the audience were priceless. Following the show, Twitter went into a frenzy. Some individuals were unable to determine whether or not Ricky Gervais was a hero for speaking the truth, or whether or not he went too far. In spite of the criticism, Ricky did not back down from his position. This is where things started to get interesting. The message was that he was not going to apologize for calling out celebrities for their hypocrisy, and was made abruptly clear when he took to Twitter and responded to both his supporters and detractors.
People come up and they say, oh, I was offended by that joke. And, my first reaction is, I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that doesn't mean anything. You're telling me how you feel. What I want to say why.
So he wasn't exactly going after wokeness itself. His real target was the self-righteousness and hypocrisy of a group that pretends to care about causes while living it up in wealth and fame. Let's be honest, there's something off about a celebrity who owns private jets lecturing the world about climate change. Ricky Gervais saw this contradiction and didn't hesitate to call it out. Take Apple, for example. They stormed into TV with The Morning Show, a brilliant drama about dignity and doing the right thing, and made by a company that runs a sweatshops in constant virtue signaling. From award shows to interviews, he's made it his mission to call out the hypocrisy of celebrities who act all high and mighty. Speaking of hypocrisy, just wait till you hear about the celebrities about the people delivering it, who weren't exactly practicing what they preached. And then there's cancel culture, another favorite topic among woke celebrities. They're quick to cancel anyone who steps out of line, but Ricky, he got zero interest in playing along. Instead of playing safe, Ricky kept pushing boundaries, whether in interviews or on social media. He's been pretty clear, cancel culture is just another way for people to control what others say.
Just because you're offended, it doesn't mean you're right, you know? It's... offense is about feelings, and feelings are personal. Some people are offended by equality.
By sticking to his guns, Ricky Gervais has turned into a counterculture figure in a world where celebrities usually say what they think people want to hear. But Ricky, he says whatever he feels like, no matter who it upsets. So what keeps him going? In his own words, it's his love for comedy and truth. Yet in a time where political correctness often trumps honesty, Gervais takes heat for his unapologetic approach. Some argue that comedy should evolve with the times. Ricky sees the funny side of things as the truth. He doesn't change the tone of his jokes to make people feel better. Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right, he famously said. But what effect has his criticism had on Hollywood? Does anyone really care, or are they just showing off their good character? Even though people laugh awkwardly and look shocked at the Golden Globes, Hollywood doesn't seem to have stopped being politically correct. In fact, the acting seems to have gotten even more ridiculous. Remember that famous person we hinted at becoming very political aware? Yeah, he was all over the news a few months ago for pulling one of the silliest stunts at the Oscars. It's a little strange that you can't see him now. Yeah, that's John Cena walking out on stage in just his birthday suit and an envelope. So what's going on here? Was Cena really pressured into a bizarre moment for some woke points, or was it all part of a bigger picture? Cena's here to spill the truth.
And he's like, just let me send you the bit. And he sent it on paper, and I called him back. I'm like, when do you need me there? it wasn't a thing of like, and I honestly thought I would be more naked.
Right.
So there you have it. Money talks, and it's pretty obvious who's in charge in the entertainment industry in Hollywood. When it comes to Leonardo DiCaprio, there are two things that everyone is aware of. First, he's an A-list actor, and second, he has a lengthy history of dating women who are younger than the films for which he has won awards. Therefore, Ricky Gervais zeroed in at Leo at the Golden Globes in 2020. It was like watching a professional at work, taking down Hollywood's ultimate bachelor with pinpoint accuracy. When Gervais began his speech, he was barely able to contain his grin. He said, Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. By the end, his date was too old for him. Even Leo couldn't help but laugh out loud as the crowd went completely insane. He had a feeling that it was going to happen, and Gervais delivered the perfect roast, which was sharp but playful. What was the most enjoyable aspect, though? Leo's reaction. Although he was well aware that his dating life was not a secret, he made the most of the situation. Gervais, however, was not finished with his work. An additional line was delivered by him after the laughter had subsided. Seriously, Leo, you're almost 50 years old. What are your thoughts on how that's going? In true Ricky fashion, he does not let anyone off the hook. And as if that weren't enough for Ricky, he's no stranger to taking on even more contentious subjects. We're pretty sure that even people who aren't involved in the Bachelor scene would have cringed at his roast because it was so daring. However, Gervais has made it abundantly clear that transgender people are permitted to feel offended as well. The fact that he was able to push the boundaries of what was possible is demonstrated by his Supernature special. There is one particular moment that had everyone buzzing, and there's a good reason for this. Gervais took aim at the entire debate regarding gender pronouns, and as is his standard practice, he did not hold back. Here is the part that everyone was talking about.
I love the new women. I know the new women. They're great, aren't they? You know, the new ones we've been seeing lately. The ones with beards and they're as good as...
Gervais's take is classic. Part shocking, part hilarious.
And now the old-fashioned, they go like, oh, they want to use our toilets. Why shouldn't they use your toilets? For ladies. They are ladies. Look at their pronouns. What about this person isn't a lady?
By doing so, he essentially is making fun of the inconsistencies that have arisen throughout the entire debate regarding pronouns and bathrooms. It's as if he is holding up the mirror and saying, look at how confusing this all has become. The humor is witty, and the joke is very satisfying to hear. Gervais is taking a direct jab at what he considers to be the most extreme aspects of contemporary identity politics. Despite the fact that you are somewhat taken aback by the extent to which he is willing to go, you can't help but laugh. In a manner that only he is capable of, he is taking a serious subject and pointing out how ridiculous it can become. So this is not only making you laugh, but it's also making you think. By calling out the hypocrisy of woke celebrities, Gervais forces us all to stop and think about the messages we're constantly fed. Are these celebs really changing the world, or are they just trying to sell us a new version of themselves? So, what do you think? Is Ricky Gervais onto something with his take on woke celebrities? Should Hollywood start living by the rules it sets for others? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos where we pull back the curtain on celebrity culture.